Welcome to part two. So I will be talking about, like I had already said 1,000 times, some more in-depth topics that require a little bit more time and some more resources. So I'll just start and get right into it. First, we're going to talk about pesticides and herbicides. So these are chemicals that are used to kill weeds, or also insecticides of course, kills insects. And all these really do, of course, they have beneficial impacts of helping plants grow or crops. They can contaminate the soil, water, and vegetation, and also affect plants that are not being targeted. So, a way that this happens is through, let's say, pesticide is sprayed on a certain area of plants, but then that rainwater can carry that chemicals and contamination into other plants that were not being targeted, and animals or insects or anything wildlife can go and eat that, and that is really toxic for them and that can kill them. And we definitely do not want to kill all of our wildlife. A great thing that you can do to support more sustainable practices is supporting organic agriculture. So basically what this is farming with the goal of sustainability. So they're trying to increase the biodiversity while also improving the soil fertility. And an awesome way that, in the quickest way to support that is by buying organic. So I know that is not an option for everyone, and organic can run pretty expensive. So of course this is more of something if you have the resources to do so. So of course this is not a required thing. I'm sure you already know that, but it's just as a little disclaimer. But buying organic does make an impact because of the farming practices that were used. Of course not. That does not mean every time something says organic they're using organic agriculture, but you can also do your own research on it, but that's kind of just a quick overview of organic agriculture. And you can actually implement organic practices in your own space by using organic pesticides, herbicides, and insecticides. So, of course, limiting your normal pesticide use as much as you can, trying to eliminate it, and switching to organic if you can. I know that may not be possible, but if you can, that would really be a great thing to do. And you can make your own at home, and I will put in links down below of 3 different recipes that you can make on your own just at home, and they are pretty common items that you would usually have, so nothing too difficult, and it's actually pretty cool to think about and to make. Next up is invasive species. So invasive species, the definition is basically species that are not native to the area that it's currently in. They're typically brought in by human introduction, and all that these plants do is fight with the native plants for valuable land and water. And they have no benefit to our environment, and they just kind of fight with the native plants for things that, as we've talked about in the second video, native plants are really important for our environment, and these just kind of kick them out and fight them. And actually, in California at least, there are approximately 1,100 species and subspecies that do not occur naturally in California. So when you think about it, that's a lot of different types. And even if we just had one plant of each of those types, that's already 1,100 types of plants that could be replaced with native plants that are super important. What can you do about this? There's a few things. So if you like to fish or hike, cleaning your gear as you move from place to place is a very quick and effective thing to do, because you can actually carry invasive species residue, I will say, and to other places. So for example, if you're moving from lake to lake, cleaning your fishing pole as you move is super great to do, because you're just wiping any of potential residue that could be on there, or when you're hiking on your boots as you move from trail to trail, just to prevent the spread of these plants even more than they already have. You can also become familiar with the invasive species in your area. So this really just requires a quick Google search, and just kind of looking and becoming familiar with the names or what certain species look like that are invasive in your area can be also a quick way to help kind of prevent that spread, because when you're going on hikes or even in your own backyard, you can see those, identify those. If they're in your backyard, of course you can try to remove them, would be the best possible thing, but you can also report them. So if you identify, report them, and hopefully they can get removed if they're on a trail or another certain area that you're in. You can also volunteer for removals if you would like. And this is a great way to kill two birds with one stone, because you can not only learn about different types of invasives, you can remove them at the same time. So of course, if that's what you're into, if you like to do more hands-on things, I would definitely recommend that, and also just to get outside a little bit. And another great thing that you can do is plant native plants, which is what our fourth video is all about, and I'll be teaching you how to do that, and hopefully it is helpful for you all. So thank you for listening to this part 2 of this more in-depth types of issues and things that you can do. So I really appreciate it, and I hope you learned something, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.